Hi, welcome. I am going live for a client convo this afternoon. I almost said morning. My day is getting away from me. Anyways, it's 1:30 in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time, and I will be inviting my friend and client, Janea, on as soon as she pops on. Hi, welcome. So basically, I've been just hosting client convos with some of my clients who are progressing in their journey and engaged and sharing with you about some of their wins and guide them along the way. And I really believe that sharing is caring in this journey of growth and health and healing. And a lot of times what one person learns can really help the rest. So here is Janea. Hi, Janea.
Hi there. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, no worries. I saw the accept and I accepted Janea. There was another person in the feed who accidentally clicked the button to join right when you did. So, all right, welcome.
Just trying to set up my camera a little bit here.
Yeah, no worries.
There we go.
How's your day so far?
Pretty good. Kids are good. Those of you who don't know, I'm a teacher. So I teach PE at high school level. So yeah, the kids were actually pretty good today. So no complaints.
I love it. Well, they're pretty lucky to have you.
I like to think so. But, you know, they don't think that all the time.
Okay, so to get this conversation started, one of the questions that we kind of talked about was, how did you find me and how do you know me?
Yeah, so we originally met through mountain biking at races, raced together, things like that. And I don't know how did we first start the chat? I can't remember our first initial get talking to you again. I think it was it it was North Star, wasn't it?
I don't remember which event it was, but I do remember I was chatting, it might have been with Amy, and you were kind of like eavesdropping, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Or something, and then she was like, you should talk to her, and then that kind of sparked, she left the conversation, and then we started talking. I think
that's right. I think it was at North Star, and then I ended up staying at your house.
Yeah.
And then we had a big old conversation, started talking about all the things we were interested in, and then you cooked me the best breakfast ever, and I was like, I can't believe this is amazing coffee, things like that. And then it turned into this whole snowball effect of actually talking to each other week after week and things like that. So yeah,
that is right. I got to feed you food. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, it was amazing. But my main issues were with my nose, and you know that. And for the ongoing 5 years, I've had chronic sinusitis, and so it's just a constant infection in my nose and my sinuses. And so I just was super tired of taking antibiotics, prednisone, because that's all the doctors would do is surgery, antibiotics, prednisone, surgery, antibiotics, prednisone, and I've been on that for 5 years. And so I was pretty fed up and very depressed about it and sad and just didn't know what to do. And then I talked to you, and you got me hopeful about blood sugar levels and everything, stuff like that. So that's where that all kind of snowballed together, and just seeking relief. And yeah, so that's how it all began.
Yeah, I love it. For some of the people watching and my followers who catch this later, Janea was one of my clients who I worked with the continuous blood sugar monitor. So she's a great person to ask in that experience. But okay, so let's see. I love to ask, what were you surprised about, or what did you find that surprised you after working with me?
So I guess the number one thing that surprised me was that you taught me to trust myself. And that's a lot of the stuff that I'd already had in my head about what to do, things to try, stuff like that. That's all stuff I should have been doing. But because I feel the outside media and TikTok and Instagram and all these different avenues of Huberman, and then you have Ben Greenfield, and then you have all these different people saying different things, and you're just so confused on what to do. but really I had it all with me, and I just needed to do it and trust myself. And like, you helped me learn to trust myself and to just like calm down, focus on stress for one. That was a key one that you helped me with, was stress, to just calm down and like go back to your basics. Like, that's why you created the foundations. Like, regardless, go back to your foundations, figure out what you need to do, and like reset, and then go from there to like key off into little other, areas. So that's the biggest thing that surprised me, because I thought it was going to be a straight up like, oh no, hardcore, here we go, this is how I have to eat, this is how I have to exercise, it's going to be like super hard. But it was more of a, what do you want to call it, internal improvement versus external, in my opinion, working with you. So,
well, that inside out force versus outside in.
Exactly.
And then the application piece, like taking those first steps.
Yeah, exactly.
So how would you say, now that you're navigating, right? I like to say navigating stress versus managing it, because if you're suppressing it, that doesn't help very much. But if you're learning how to navigate it, how would you say like navigating stress has changed your life for the better or worse at this point?
Well, having more of a game plan, like with the whole trust thing, just basically having confidence in myself releases stress.
Yeah.
So having a game plan of like, I meal prep every week, every Sunday is my meal prep day. I make sure I get that done no matter what. Even if I do have to like back off on a workout, like that's more important to me, because that's going to set me up for the rest of the week to not stress out about what I'm eating.
Yeah.
And like what I'm snacking on and things like that. Because that was a big stressor for me, was I would grab a treat that the kids had or whatever, and I'm like eating it, and then I just get upset and depressed at myself that I ate that, and then I'm like, is that what's causing my nose to do this? And then go into a downward spiral, and I know a lot of people do that too.
Yeah.
Regardless, like if it's weight gain or whatever it is. And so just kind of trusting myself with having a plan and sticking to it regardless has really helped. Other navigations, done some cold plunging. I'm kind of going off that right now because I haven't been focusing on it. But previously in the summer, I was pretty good with it, and that helped stress level a lot. I will say, if you're feeling like anxious, go get in the river or creek or something. Oh my goodness, you'll feel 100% better when you're done. So that's a big one. What other things? Trying to think. Yoga's helped. I'm teaching yoga again, so yoga, meditation, that kind of thing really helps with stress relief. So those are some big key ones.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite foundation that you like to focus on?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Pop question.
Ooh. Right now, currently, it is the activity one, and only because I'm readjusting my whole like fitness mentality in general, because I had such a bad outlook on it. So I wouldn't say a bad outlook. I would just say like a totally, completely different outlook on it. So revamping my movement portion has been something that's really beneficial. And then my other favorite one, I have to say sleep. Like you can't go wrong with sleep. Like, I mean, it's so hard to get sometimes, but I mean, yesterday I took a nap because I was just so exhausted and tired, and that was my stress relief, was to take a nap and like lay with my dog. Like, it's always a fight to try and find the best way to get the max amount of sleep. So, I mean, those two probably like key ones for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it because the sleep one's important, because that just supports your detox pathways and you're like refreshing and renewing. But I also love that you're recognizing your shift in your seasons. So Janea has really performed at high levels in different sports. And as she transitions through her life, like those seasons and that mentality, she's always going to be active, but that activity is like adjusting for the season in her life. And so that's just an example of how, like, it's really, this process is personalized for everyone, because for a season you can be a certain kind of active, and then in the next season it has to adjust, but you're still being active. So you're getting your motion, movement, and activity. And what once served you may be like dissipated, and then you can like refigure that out or reconfigure it for the next season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I went from just riding my bike like 2 to 3 hours a day, every day, right? Like 10 hours, 12 hours a week, whatever. And then now I'm, especially after talking to you, I've really adjusted my workout program, and I'm doing like jump rope workouts and like elliptical workouts, like random stuff that I've never done before, and like probably wouldn't have, because my mentality was like, that's not what you're training for. But like, they're so fun, and like I get a really good workout, and like, so it's just broadening and opening up a whole lot of different exercises and movement, and it's all really good for you, especially jumping, good for your bone density and stuff. So
Well, totally. I love it. Trampoline, jump rope, skips.
Right? I'm becoming a kid all over again.
I think that's actually kind of the goal sometimes, is to remember what it's like to be full of that joy, because that's part of the healing process. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah.
Anything, I think, before the very last question, which is there anything else you want to share? What are you working on right now, or what are you incorporating outside of the foundations right now?
Currently I'm working on decreasing my stress. My dogs are having a lot of issues lately. My biggest one has gone like paralyzed in his rear legs, so we just got him a wheelchair, so we're working through that. And then my little one just had surgery, got a tumor taken out, so it's like, it's been a lot of stress and like money spent, so I've been high level of stress. So just trying to navigate that and be kind to myself. I'm really trying to just be easy on myself and not have high expectations right now, because that's not the most important thing right now, is doing a hardcore workout or something like that. So that's a big one. And then, as I said earlier, I'm working on revamping, using the Huberman fitness protocol to kind of guideline my fitness program. So that's been really helpful, like especially going on long hikes on the weekends. Like every Saturday I've been going on really long hikes. Super nice and beneficial. I noticed a big difference with that. So
yeah, that zone 2 area where you can still build muscle and gain elevation, but talk the whole time.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to share?
Let's see. Did I have anything else? I just want to talk about like my experience with you. You helped me realize like the progress is never ending. Like I always had it in my head that like once I get to this point, I'll be good. Once I get to this point, I'll be happier. Like it's not really, it's about a continuing journey of finding new things that work for you at the moment, and they can be totally different from like 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Which is like something super key. It's not, it's a progress process. It's not like a end goal working with, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but
no, yeah.
You can probably elaborate.
Totally. So how I think of it, which I love because you're going on hikes on Saturdays, is this understanding that we always have something we can be refining or progressing or growing, and that process can be slower or accelerated at different times. But I think of a mountain, and I think of the path that might circle up the mountain, and sometimes it kind of touches the trail below, almost, but not quite, and then it'll circle back up and you'll get a little more elevation or progress, and then eventually you might reach the peak, or you'll reach a peak and it's not the peak, so then you keep going because you just reached a false summit, and so I think of it in those terms, and then that allows us to not be super disappointed if the outcomes aren't exactly as we expected.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a good baseline that you always come back to, and that's where I've printed out your 9 foundations, and like I have them up on my computer, and like they're there. Like whenever I'm like something's off, I go check through and I go, oh yeah, it's probably my sleep. Oh, it's probably my hydration. Oh, yep, that's what it is. So
Yeah.
that's a really helpful tool right in itself.
I love working with you, and it's so fun for me to work with engaged clients who are a part of the process, because I also get to learn from the people I work with. So I really appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you too.
You're welcome. Well, any questions in the chat? We can give it a minute. I guess I should have asked that a minute ago so people could drop them in there. But for who's watching, if there's any questions that you want to ask Janea or me, while we're taking time for those to register, just so you guys know, I am taking one-on-one clients, and I have a group option. So if you want to collect friends or family and you can gather 2 or 3 or 4 people, I will group coach you at the one-on-one price as well. So like there's some options out there so that it can be more affordable. And I also find if you do group coaching, people they find accountability in that process because their friends are reminding them or their families reminding them of the 9 foundations. So let me know if you're interested in that. And then I will be doing another client convo in a couple weeks. I have a couple more clients who I just have been absolute joys to work with, and they're going to show up here. So come back in a couple weeks. I don't see any questions in the comment section. So I think that will wrap this up for us.
Okay.
Thank you for
thanks for the
time.
chat. Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Okay.
See ya.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.